Hey guys, it's Matt. This is not what I expected to talk about first today. Start the day here, CNN.com. Trump hit with revised January 6th indictment. Paris Paralympics are set to begin. SpaceX mission delayed for second straight day. Let's go back to this. You've got to be kidding me. Here it comes again. The same themes recycled back over and over and over. Indictment rattles race. What to know about revised indictment against Trump? You've got to be kidding me. Special counsel files new January 6th indictment. The storming of the Stormy Daniels storming of the Capitol. Oh no, please make it stop. Even if it's real, it's fake. This is where I am. Very few in this reality are in on it. They all believe in what they're doing. From afar, we look upon it and see it's all ridiculous. When they're in the middle of it, they believe it. Now, there's things plotted and planned, but it's very, very low. It's not what we used to think. If you're right in the middle or right in the middle of the ship of fools, you believe in this and you believe in what you're doing. Like a first grade truther would say, well, certainly the person that brought the indictment knows it's all BS. It's all a script from WWE and WWF. I'm not so sure anymore. Either way, we see it as cake in a lake. The person that brought the indictment might believe in every bit of this. I'm really there at this point. Even if it's real, it's fake. But really, what that means to us off the ship, it's never truly real. It's just a way of saying something. Takeaways. This is coming back around again. I mean, are they going to bring it? Are they going to say remember the Russians hacked the election for 3 or 4 years? It was endless. The Russians hacked the election. The Russians hacked the election. How, when Trump got it, how? Well, nobody ever proposed. Well, what did they do? They just kept screaming out. Voices in the night. The Russians hacked the election, and I was like saying to people in my family, even, what does that even mean? What did they do? Show me evidence. Did they get in and reconfigure voting machines? What did they do? Nobody ever came forth with anything. I don't even know what to say about this. Special counsel Jack Smith provided the latest twist in the 2020 election subversion case. It just keeps coming around again. It's just, I don't even know what to say. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how we deal with this, folks. I mean, it's very, very trying to get out of bed anymore. Let me quickly show you the screenshot that I captured. Saw the quote new news, had to comment on it. First recording, first attempt, ended it 3:03. Here it is again. I just want to show you the timestamp on my first recording, first try. The 3:03 comes all the time. Not all, but it comes in an inordinate amount of time. And please, if we could clear out some of the first grade truthers and trolls that are in some way going to insinuate that it's Matt giving some sort of code to his secret society. Please, I thought we had cleared out the trolls, and it's been a quiet few months, and they keep coming back around. Is there anything more pathetic than a troll that would watch a channel or pay attention to someone just to try to get them? I mean, is there anything lower in the world than that? I've watched some channels and I thought, this person's full of shit. And I might have even said something in years past, which I really don't do much anymore, saying this channel's bullshit. And I haven't done that for many, many years. But I don't go back to it, try to get them. I mean, that's really, really pathetic. Bill sent me this today without any commentary, but there really doesn't need to be any. My interpretation of this is Bill saying, Matt, there are not milk-free zones today, but you have to go to the ends of the earth to find them. If you don't do negotiation with Not Milk, where they carve out a portion of Portugal for you, you can find Not Milk-free zones, places with no electromagnetic bombardment where it's not trying to read your emails and get up in your business. You want to go 150 miles south of Morocco? Plop your ass in the middle of the Sahara Desert somewhere. It's 128 degrees 4 months in a row. You can go find a place where your cell phone won't work and it's not trying to surveil you, not trying to push its GMO foods on you. You find a little oasis, little place where the what was it? Omar Sharif had his well in. I almost said Lord of the Rings. Omar Sharif had his well in Lawrence of Arabia. It was the L that got Matt. Lord of the Rings ain't Lawrence of Arabia. You can find Omar, and then Omar Sharif's going to come and kick you off his well. You can find your little oasis. You want to go up north, hundreds of miles above where any Eskimo dares to tread. Up, you can take your chances with the polar bears. It's a not milk-free zone. Your cell phone won't work. You'll go, there's no electromagnetic bombardment up here. You can find it, but you have to go to the ends of the earth. You better hope your negotiations work, Matt. Matt, who would want to find a place on Earth where your cell phone doesn't work? What's the matter with you people? I'm trying to get more coverage. I want more Candy Crush games. We've all seen stories like this. Woman falls into fountain while texting. And most of the time when they fall into the fountain while on the phone, they sue the establishment or sue the mall. They love their phones. They can't imagine a group of people that actually want to get away from the electromagnetic bombardment. They want to engulf and swim in more electromagnetic bombardment. As a reminder, Trump will be sentenced in just a few weeks, September 18th. The sentencing date was postponed from mid-July to September 18th. Sentenced for what, Matt? All those past indictments for the January 6th? No, this is something, of course, completely different. The Stormy Daniels porn star falsifying records case, of which Trump was convicted of 34 counts, all felonies. Now, most so-called, quote, experts believe that Donald Trump won't get any jail time. And if that happens, I'll talk about it in just a minute. I don't think they know exactly what they're going to do yet. This is one of the cases where the script is not exactly all played out in advance. I'll talk about it in a minute, and I really will talk about it. The experts, quote, saying, he'll get some sort of probation. If that happens, it will be to mess with the minds of the population. The population, no matter how dumbed down they are, now how much bong resin is floating around up there, no matter how calcified their pineal glands, everybody knows that a felony carries jail time. They've heard it since the day they could understand anything about prison and sentencing, the difference between a misdemeanor and a felony. They've known it since they were 10 years old. Well, deep down, they're not even consciously aware of it. They say, well, it causes cognitive dissonance. Doesn't a felony have to carry jail time? Isn't that the point of classifying something as a felony over a misdemeanor? So if they do this, 34 felony counts, 34, and he'll get probation. And deep down, the people will know that if they were convicted of just one felony, they would go to jail for a year or 5 years, or the state would say, oh, for that offense, it's a minimum. The judge even has no latitude. The judge could say, you're my ex-lover. And they could say, it doesn't matter if the judge says, you're my ex-lover. You get 5 years minimum. That's what's on the books. A felony has minimums for jail time in most states. So if they do this, it will cause a tremendous amount of cognitive dissonance in the people. It's like the opposite of, what is it? Good for thee, not for me. Like the senators and the congressmen said, oh, Obamacare, you can have it. Oh, we don't have it here in Congress. You spent all these years pushing Obamacare on us, and you're not even going to take. No, we have our own plan. It's good for thee, not for. It's the opposite of that. It's saying this elite, the elite class. I hate the way we've been taught to posit certain things, but we won't. Oh, felony for us? Donald Trump? Oh, that's probation. But you know deep down, don't you? Felony for you? You've gone away for a long time, you poor devils. Now, this is really odd to hear me say this because I'm the person that said scripted reality many, many years ago. I don't think they know what they're going to do yet. I think their tactics are a bit different. So much data is coming in real time via all the way they collect up the data. Now they have the AI to analyze the data in microseconds, and 98% of the traffic flows through their big 5 outlets. It's almost like they can make decisions day to day now, and they don't have to plan out months in advance. And the decisions made day to day are based on the reading of the emails and the tweets and everything that they're collecting up, millions of pieces of information a second. I don't think they really know exactly what they're going to do. I think they have a general sense, of course, if they're going to sentence him or not, but how it's going to play out. Oh man, I think this is the next era for the Not Milk, adjusting the script almost day to day or on the fly. which its data collection tools allows it to do in the last 5 years, was not available to Albert Pike. Okay, I'll look to your comments for your updated predictions. Just to reiterate my old predictions, because of this alone, of course, I believe that the script has Trump going in, not to jail, to the White House. 45th president, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If he gets back in, will be the 47th president, 7, 8, 9, 10. I don't think they can resist this. I think this, it's the numbers are too blatant. I don't know what this means to them. I don't know what they get out of it, but it's too big. Don't think there's any way the script can resist this. No matter, I think they're just going to make it look. If they make it look like there's no way Trump should win because of legal ills and troubles and sentencing, and then all they get is more conflict amongst the people at the Thanksgiving table, more racial conflict, more hating between groups and family members, and they love that, don't they? So Trump is the most polarizing figure of all time. Hillary's close, but Kamala Harris, as loathed as she is, as lame as she is, it doesn't produce the same ire, the same hate, and the not milk isn't going to feed as well if Kamala gets in. So to me, it's could be wrong, but I just see it clearly that Trump has the first part of the prediction that Trump will be back in the White House, whatever that means. He'll just sit there and wait for his 3x5 cards to be delivered. But regarding what I was talking about earlier, the amount of the script that's set in stone, that is already decided and fixed, is a much smaller part of the script in 2024 than it's ever been, in my opinion. The part where, Matt, is there a chance they don't know who they're going to put in? Of course they know who they're going to put in at this point. That's the part that's fixed, where it's all set up. But I'm not sure, again, I don't think they have all the details planned out. They'll float certain things, and then again, their AI tools, in just seconds, and with tabulation in just minutes, they can see how the population is reacting to certain news. Great example is today. A new indictment regarding Trump and the whole January 6th thing being recycled. They're looking at the tweets. They're looking at the comments. They're looking at the Facebook. They're analyzing. They're saying, are people caring at all? Are they habituated to this? Is it changing anything? Is it changing their perception of Trump? Forget Gallup polling for election. I mean, assuming people are going to go in and they're going to count real votes, which is, I'm sure they count them. Do they do anything with them after they count them? No, just throw them away. But they count them. They want to see what the country did, of course. So they know who's going in the White House. But I don't think they have the rest of the script planned out. They would be not utilizing their AI tools and their data collection capabilities to the fullest. I don't think they'll know leading up to the sentencing day whether they will sentence him or not, or what the sentencing will be. If they want Donald Trump, or if that part of the script calls for Donald Trump to go in, then if they sentence him to even a day in jail, then that cannot change, say, too much of the sentiment in terms of people that would have voted for Trump. I mean, they can pretty much get away with anything, but they can't get away with if everybody around them knows that 9 out of 10 people everywhere voted Kamala Harris and Trump is now president. It's going to seem strange. First and foremost, this not milk has to make this whole system believable. Okay, now it's unbelievable and ridiculous to us. It's broken down to us, but that doesn't matter. Our perception is not the perception of the average idiot on the ship. The not milk essentially has one goal that trumps all others. It's to manage and balance believability with creating friction, energy, loosh, etc., conflict. Believability on one side of the scale, conflict on the other. Maximum conflict, maximum energy harvesting, maximum hating amongst family members at the Thanksgiving table, maximum relationships breaking up and hate and anger. But if it's not believable, the whole thing breaks down. They always have to err on the side of making the system believable. And Not Milk, if you're listening to the words coming out of my mouth, you're really pushing it. You're really pushing it. We in our community can't even imagine how the dumbest of the dumb don't see through your pathetic stories. The same themes recycled over and over, the same pathetic scripts, the same acts of the play, thinking or hoping your audience didn't remember they saw the same act just last Tuesday night. Not Milk, if you're listening, you better make sure you err more on the side of believability. And you better put down your heroin needle, your addiction to loosh, because, Matt, why are you giving it? Yeah, I'm giving it advice. Like it really is listening to me. It's like, Matt says we need to make it more believable. We better listen to him. Come on, man. Come on, sir. Matt, stop speaking to the trolls. They're gonna try to latch on to any dumb thing you say. Well, that's true. So to wrap this segment up, is it really appropriate or fair to ask me to give a prediction when the Not Milk itself, in terms of Trump's jail time, doesn't know what it's going to do? Isn't that convenient for you, Matt? Foregoing the need to put a prediction out saying, well, the Not Milk itself doesn't even know. It doesn't. Think about it. Think about it, man. Why does it have all these tools then? Why is it taking in 40 billion terabit flop quats of data a second? Why is it collecting all this up if it's not going to use any of it? It floats things and then it collects up its terabit flop quats and it analyzes it. It might not know till the morning of the sentencing what it's going to do. It has all these tools now for a reason. And it can change up on the fly, balancing believability and loose creation or conflict. In this segment, we can use Bill's poster to actually have fun and play out the possible scenarios as to what the Not Milk will do or not do with Trump's potential jail time. And since it's collecting up teraquad flops of data, it might be listening to me in real time and very interested in the scenarios that I'm going to propose and what you'll put in the comments. I'm sure it'll collect all them right up. So the first thing to look at here is, do you think they're really going to lose the opportunity to send Trump to jail for a few days or a week? I mean, are they going to, Not Milk, are you going to lose that opportunity? Does that really seem to you guys that have been paying attention like me, that's what's going to happen on September 18th? Probation. Then he just walks out and that's the end of it? Really? The only way they would do that is if, again, their AI is telling them that if they send this person to jail, especially before the election, that no one will believe he could possibly get into the White House as somebody coming out of jail. They certainly want to send him to jail as part of the script. But they're be forced in a situation where they're saying that the AI supercomputer, the way Dr. Strange looked at the 30 million scenarios in 1 second, he says there's only one way for the Avengers to win and beat Thanos. He's like, nobody's believing this. We can't send him to jail before the election. But they might send him to jail. They might be able to do the hybrid or the Goldilocks down the middle from a Not Milk perspective. They might sentence him to a month in jail, but after the election. So people would still know, Matt, that he's going to prison, but it wouldn't be as traumatic as literally your candidate behind bars, and then they show him getting out from behind bars. It's like hiding it under the pillow or something. It's going to push it right to the limit. Of course it is. We could make this, again, Reality Gives Itself Away series, proof of Not Milk. It's going to push it right to the limit. But the first thing that stands out to me is just to think they're just going to end it that simply. Oh, probation and that's it. It all just goes away. They might have to, if you see what I mean. But they certainly don't want to. They can get away with him just doing a few days jail time. How would that play out? I don't think they're going to put him in jail before the election. It would be sentencing. It is a felony, Mr. Trump, and the precedent here is there has to be at least some jail time. We won't do it to you before the election. 2 weeks, I mean, ridiculous. If there's any jail time at all associated with felonies, this is this cognitive dissonance that will play in the minds of tens of millions of people. It wouldn't be a few weeks or months. It would be years if there's jail time associated with felonies. But whatever. We've covered that. The Not Milk knows what it can get away with the great unwashed and the proletariat. So it'd be like, okay, 1 month jail time, but we won't do it to you, Mr. President, they have to call him Mr. President, he's ex-president, before the election. It'll be after the election. So it would be, maybe he'll be getting out just a few a few days before the inauguration. They're capable of that. Of course, they are. Of course they are. They're capable of sending him to 4 years with the day he gets out as the last day of his presidency. And like you alluded to, the whole term will be Andy Dufresne in a cell. Maybe. I mean, they're capable of almost anything that they know or think they can get away with. It's like that actor that played the quarterback in Friday Night Lights was also in Jarhead. He told that story on the plane. Probably made it up, but it's still funny. He's like, the judge said I got two choices. Either I go to jail or I go into the army. And they're on their way to Iraq. The funny thing is, if I went to jail, I'd be getting out today. You got two choices, Donald. You can serve your time during the presidency, or you can serve more time after the 4 years. It's your choice. I'll serve the first 2 years behind bars, sir, if I can, and we'll move the Resolute desk into Andy Dufresne's cell. See, in the poster, he's on the phone. All he's going to have access to is that payphone. They will allow a special payphone in the cell, I believe. They used to call it the G7 meeting. Now it's probably the G10 or whatever. It's like, I can't go to no G10 meeting. I'm behind bars, as you know. Bring the G10 meeting here. We'll do it in the cell. There's no meeting at Davos, Switzerland, or Lake Como anymore. The Saudis want me to go touch that glowing ball again. Go over and touch that glowing ball. Tell them to bring that glowing ball in the cell, and I'll touch it here with my other balls. Here's an interesting factor to consider. Right from the day of the conviction on 34 counts and the sentencing, again, delayed or not the day of the conviction, all the, quote, experts came out that very day all over the news and said, it's likely, even though it's 34 felony counts, it's likely he won't get any prison time. It's likely he won't go to jail. And I was thinking about it because so many of these so-called not milk minions came out, and they're still saying it. There's a few professors from Georgetown or whatever saying he could get some jail, but 95% of these experts are saying, no, he'll get probation, no jail. Doesn't that make jail more likely? See what I'm saying? The Not Milk loves surprise. It loves controversy. It needs to create agitation to feed it. So the Not Milk's just going to do what the experts have been predicting for 2 months? Or is it likely to do something a little bit different? If it does the jail time for even a week or a few days, it still gets the controversy of a ex-president going to jail, the controversy of a president going into an election, or the suspended sentence. You have to do your week of jail whenever, but a president going into an election for a second term where jail is coming. See, it's just, I don't think it's never clean, is it? Because, this makes perfect sense. Because the experts, the quote experts, have been saying no jail, then to me, jail's likely. Does it typically do what it says it's going to do, typically, the Not Milk? And if anybody's stumbling upon this going, Matt, you're like breaking this down, analyzing it like it's not going to be the decision of a real judge or whoever. Of course it's not. Who would think that? It's the decision of the Not Milk script working with its Whopper computer and AI. What did you think? It has nothing to do with the appropriate punishment of a man for a supposed crime. It has to do with getting as many people riled up in this country to hate one another. Once again, what did you think? Thanks for listening.